added some tubular bells to this also. One that plays normally and one that goes in reverse. And the way I achieved that was first I selected the tubular bell, and I actually have this tubular bell as a sound font. I'm sure you could find this online. I got this for free. So you go to your sound fonts, and if you're looking to add sound fonts to your EXS sampler, just put it in the comment section and I can give you guys the link. It's really simple. I'll let you hear the tubular bell. It's just that one ding right there. And then I have one go in reverse that sounds like this. Alright, so now that we got those bells in, completely forgot to tell you guys how to do this. So in order to get one reverse sound, so let's say you just played this out like you did the others, right? You right click, you bounce this in place, alright? And what you're going to get is another file like this right underneath it. Once you have that file, what you want to do is click on it, hit File, go to Functions, and then Reverse. And then it allows you to reverse that sample. You can't reverse MIDI notes, but you can reverse sounds. So if you see MIDI notes like this, you won't be able to right click. You won't be able to click on it and go to File because it's a MIDI note. You will want to first bounce it in place. So right click, bounce in place. You get the next one. I'm going to show you this. Bounce in place. Hit OK. All right. So now I'm going to take this loop off here. Now it bounced it in place. It muted this one, right? It's no problem. I still got one over here. So I'm going to paste that over. Oops. Copy and paste that over. Like that. It's not what I wanted. Copy that. I'm hitting Command C and Command V on the keyboard. There you go. All right. So now I have a reverse and a forward, right? Now if this grays out and you don't have another one to copy from, just add the track again and reload the tubular bell so you can get your forward sound. You got your forward sound and your reverse sound. I'm sounding very repetitive. I'm sorry, but I'm just making sure you guys get it. All right. So again, we got our forward sound, our reverse sound, and you get that action going. That and helps with the progression of your beat. So I'm going to add, I got a total of 16 bars here and an 8-bar hook. I'm going to copy this over here. So bring that to the right track like that. All right. Now for the hook, what I did was I have these four, right? I got these four with a high cut frequency so that we can get some that Drake effect, I guess you can call it, in there. So the way I did that was by hitting A on my keyboard. All right, that brings up my automation, and here I can set parameters, and I'm going to undo all this stuff right here so that I can just show you again. I can set parameters of how a certain element of the track, like a EQ, reacts. Okay, so just going to get rid of all these dots here. I'm going to recreate them for you so you know what I'm talking about. Actually, not these, because that had some frequency set before, but it's all of these guys right here. All right. Get rid of that. All right. So what you're going to see is something like this. It's going to be on volume, and you're not going to see any bars or anything to drag or any dots. The first thing you got to do is select the track that you want to work with, solo it out, and if the EQ looks like this, so if there is no EQ, there's no plugin or whatever, you will want to add the EQ. You could do that by just clicking on this. It'll add the EQ for you. And you want to turn on your high frequency. You're going to change this to high frequency cut or high cut frequency. And we're going to select the area, and just by clicking on it. And now we have this blue line. That'll indicate what our frequency is set at the point in time in the beat. All right. So I'm zooming in here. I brought my I brought my cursor all the way to the spot where I want to start this high frequency cut. I just added a place marker there. I'm going to add another one. Okay, and I'm going to drag this down like it's about maybe 380. Okay, and we want this sort of to start at the beginning there. All right, cool. Now, I added the frequency for I added the EQ for this also. We're going to go ahead and go to channel EQ, high cut frequency. All right. Now we're going to click here again. We're going to get a little dot. Bring that one over. Click another dot. Bring it down to like 380 like we did with the other one. Have it start at the beginning there. 420 is fine. That's cool. Doesn't have to be exact. All right. Let's go to the next one here. Also, I already have a EQ built in here that I shaped, so I don't want to mess with that too much. All I got to make sure of is that the high frequency cut is set. I'm going to X out of this and we'll change this to EQ, high cut frequency. Add our dots. Another dot. Come on now. Like I said, doesn't have to be exact, but around the same area. All right. I got one more to deal with here. Again, I already put the EQ on this. I'm going to change this over to EQ and high cut frequency. You are not going to see the channel EQ unless you have this enabled. All right. So before you go into this section here, and you get into this section by hitting the A on your keyboard, right? You want to turn this on and then go to channel EQ and high cut frequency. This might look different for you. You might just have the channel EQ, but that's what you're looking for. All right. I'm going to start adding a little more placers here. Let's bring this down and around, same area. Let's try like 430. 390 is good. All right, I'm zooming out now. Okay, so you can see here, this marker was already there. I want to have this marker go all the way to the back. If there is no marker, create one by clicking on the line and dragging it up. So now you're having the high cut frequency start off and then dissipate as a beat progresses in the hook there. All right, for that 8-bar section. I'm going to bring that up too. And that up too. All right, so this is what you want to look for. Left down, up right. Should look something like this. You can hide this now by just hitting A on the keyboard again. I'm going to unsolo everything. Now let's listen to a little bit of this, and then it goes into the 8-bar hook. I'm going to loop that out here. Okay. Let's remove that tubular bell because it's not in the same high frequency cut. All right, so now we got a little bit of a Drake vibe to it. All right, so the next thing we're going to work on is our 808, and I'm just going to play around with the keys and see what I can come up with here.